Yes. Hello and welcome to the History of Aviation podcast live stream from EAA Air Adventure. We've got I'm Derrick Beeler. I'm with you from McGee Tyson Airport today. So we're having a lot of fun here, little planes flying. But without further ado,
may I now present a cultured, sophisticated man about town. May I now present a cultured, sophisticated
Mr. Dave Gorman. How's it going, Dave?
May I now present a cultured,
Derrick.
sophisticated man about town.
Playing over and over. There we go. All right. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Everything's great. How are you?
Well, again, I'm up at AirVenture, so things are pretty good no matter what. From where I'm standing here at Boeing Plaza, I can see a bunch of planes I'm not going to talk about very much. I can see an Osprey, a C-1s, a C-17, a F-16, a pair of T-38s, a Wisconsin Air National Guard C-135, a pair of F-15s, a 737, a T-6, a Corsair, F-4U-4 Corsair, a couple of Army helicopters, all kinds of things. But what I'm going to talk about today are a couple of the heavy lift capacity capability aircraft, some of the most unusual oversized aircraft that you'll ever see. We got behind me there the Super Guppy, and then as I rotate the camera, I am standing underneath the giant of the show, the Dream Lifter that is here. So some pretty amazing aircraft, very unique. Although I've seen the Super Guppy before, this is the first time seeing the Dream Lifter, which is just incredible in its size and capabilities. So let's review a couple of these. I've had to take some notes on these because they're just so amazing. You can see behind me the Super Guppy, the front the front of the airplane actually hinges open for ease of loading things. And I haven't stepped up on the platform to look inside. I'll do that as soon as I'm done. I can't do that live in the podcast. It just is a little bit complicated walking around. Also on that side of the plaza there, they're interviewing a couple of soldiers, helicopter pilots out of Fort Drum. So it's a little bit loud over there. But the Super Guppy, this thing is operated by NASA, and it is based on the Boeing 377, a early long-range airliner that was developed a long time ago, came out of the C-97, which was developed into a tanker. That was actually based on the B-29. So there's a long lineage of cousins to this aircraft. There were 5 of these that were built. This is the only one that still flies. One was scrapped, unbelievably, and 3 are in museums around the world. But this one, flown by NASA, is still very, very active. It back in the late 60s, it carried the Saturn 4B rocket stage, the only aircraft ever to do that. So pretty unique capabilities and job that it has. Like I said, they built 5 of them. 1 was scrapped. 3 are in museums. It has turbine engines, which it needs that extra power boost, of course, to get that load off the ground safely and securely. Has a capacity for 52,500 pounds of cargo, and as ungainly and unaerodynamic as it looks, it can still cruise at about 250 miles an hour. So pretty good clip, considering what it carries and how it does it. So also a crew of 4 to keep this thing going: flight engineer, pilot, co-pilot, and a load master. Cargo floor about 13 feet wide. The height of it just over 48 feet, about 48 and a half feet. height inside the cargo hold. Wingspan 56 feet wide for that wingspan, so not big, long wings. The cabin is pressurized. The carbon area is not. Cargo area is not. But range of this thing is about 2,000 miles. This one is based out of El Paso. So even though it works for NASA, we associate NASA and Houston and everything in Florida. It is based in El Paso. Can often be seen just doing regular flight testing and things like that. But when it's working for NASA, it's going to the Space Center and going down to Houston, going to Kennedy and everything back and forth. So pretty unique aircraft. We're going to see it fly during AirVenture, and that should be great. It flew in yesterday. I missed its arrival, but looking forward to seeing it fly again. So that is the Super Guppy turbine operated by NASA. Pretty impressive.
Very nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't move a whole lot from, again, where I am right now to get more of the Dream Lifter here. The nose is behind me. You see some of the engines there. The wing directly overhead. But this thing is just impossible. Looking at it, you just are like, how in the heck can something that big be aerodynamic? And I don't guess they care a whole lot. I mean, it's big and bulky and bulging out and everything, but it's got the engine power to you can see the lump there in the back as the extra wide fuselage kind of fares back into the regular dimensions of the aircraft. This was built around a 747, and let's see, I think 5 of these were built. First flew in 2006, September 2006. These are currently operated by Atlas Airlines, and so if you're ever looking for them on any of the flight tracking websites like ADSB, you want to be looking for Atlas Air. There is a cargo version that was made of the 747, the freighter, the 747-400F. This thing holds 3 times as much cargo, so it's based around the 747, but because they've enlarged the cargo hold so much and widened it and heightened it and everything, 3 times as much cargo. Okay, this plane was designed to move aircraft components and parts, fuselage sections in particular, between Italy, Japan, and the U.S., and it often is flying over the U.S. from Everett, Washington, or Kansas, flying into Charleston, South Carolina. So some of our fans have seen this plane flying in and landing at Charleston. I haven't done that yet, but sure want to. So sometimes this is called the LCF, by the way, the large cargo freighter. Gotcha. So I mentioned Atlas Air flies it. One thing that I'm going to see if I can show, although I'm not in a great position, this plane does not have winglets. Sometimes you see that on big planes. They have little winglets that help move the air and provide some extra lift for the aircraft. But on this plane, perhaps due to the size and shape of the fuselage, the winglets actually caused too much vibration, so they got rid of it. I think I mentioned that 4 were made, or 5 were made. It was just 4. As a heavy lifter, this thing can carry 250,000 pounds, 250,000 pounds in cargo.
Incredible.
I did not look it up. I don't think it's. Sorry, that was a Ford Trimotor taking off. Occupational hazard up here. I don't think it's any longer than a 747. It's 235 feet long, wingspan 211 feet, height about 70 and a half feet tall, fuselage 27 and a half feet wide. So, the maximum takeoff weight, everything, fuel, the airplane itself, and that 250,000 pounds of cargo, 803,000 pounds.
Wow.
And
incredible.
Probably not at that full load, but it can cruise at 541 miles an hour. so it can get there in a hurry. It is still a 747, even if it doesn't look like it.
Right.
But yeah, it can cruise at 541 miles per hour, has a range just under 5,000 miles, about 4,800 miles. So pretty impressive aircraft. And I wish they were going to do like a heritage flight of some sort with freight aircraft and put the Super Guppy and the Dreamlifter in the air at the same time. But that would take up an awful lot of airspace.
A lot of
And would
airspace
produce
for sure.
probably an eclipse that would frighten people for many counties around Oshkosh. So better not do that.
Well, Dave, we definitely appreciate the update. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully behind me you can see. I can't zoom in, unfortunately, but inside the open nose section of the Super Guppy, maybe you could see the Texas state flag, and they have a flag.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, they mentioned that it is based and operates to serve the Johnson Space Center in Houston, based in El Paso. So good stuff. There are a bunch of other aircraft. These aircraft will be swapped out during the week, so other planes that come in will take the place when the Super Guppy leaves or when the Dreamlifter leaves to go back home. Other planes will be towed into place to to go on display so people can get up close and personal to them. So
gotcha. Well, we definitely appreciate your update and looking forward to another one tomorrow.
We will. I would love, again, if anybody out there listening, watching, has some suggestions about aircraft that they would like to learn more about, please let us know. I spent a little bit of time walking around yesterday. There are a lot more aircraft that have arrived today than were here yesterday. So I'll find something good to feature. If I don't hear from somebody, it won't be a problem finding aircraft types or particular aircraft to feature. Lots here. What a great week.
Very much so. We look forward to the next one, and thank you for this one. And be safe out there, and we will talk to you later.
All right, everybody. Take care, and tune in next time. We'll see you.
Have a good one. History of Aviation podcast.